you would expect. Being held up, obviously in New York. Doing multiple tests, waiting for tests, um, contract tracing, then getting the list of guys being out. You know, getting back to Philly at 1 in the morning. Getting to your house, then trying to think. Well, not knowing if you're playing or not. Um, on the phone with your coaches and stuff up until 4 in the morning. Um, Still not knowing. We're just trying to create some kind of game plan, and then coming here, and then an hour ago we were told we were playing. I think we have 8 active players. Um, one is one that it's been injured, and Mike Scott. That I can tell you now, there's no way I'm going to play him. I just don't think he should play. So you can make a case. We have 7 bodies to throw out. We had a walkthrough that I wasn't a part of because I was on a call with the league and stuff. So I have a list here that I've not even looked at. So of players, and so we're gonna throw them together, and Dwight Howard's gonna play point guard tonight, and we're gonna see how it goes.
So let me ask you this: even setting aside the COVID related stuff, do you feel, I guess, responsible or safe playing this game, knowing you're going to have, as you say, you only have 8 guys, and really it's like 7 with if Mike is not able to suit up or give
Well,
you.
listen, COVID wise, I'm 59 years old, and we have a 60. Dan's older. At least I think he looks older. Um, you know, um, Listen, I trust the league and I trust the doctors as far as health wise. I'm not. I'm more concerned with health on the floor. We're going to play players tonight that haven't played a lot of minutes. I'm not going to. You know, so like when you got 7 bodies, this someone's going to have to play 40 plus minutes, so, and that's not just for today. That's long term health. With the accumulation of games. It's the numbers we want to stay away from with our players. So I'm actually more concerned about that than I am actually about COVID. Um, and I am concerned about COVID. I think everybody is, the league is, and everyone else is as well. Um, you know, so yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. Um, yeah.
Thanks, Doc.
Let's go to Keith next. Go ahead, Keith.
Hey, Doc, I hear you said that Dwight, joked around and said Dwight playing point guard. So the report that Ben and Joel aren't playing is true?
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with just not playing. Ben was in the Brooklyn game was had some knee stiffness, and so we almost probably knew after the game that he wouldn't play tonight.
Okay.
And then Joel, started complaining about his back over the last. He started yesterday, and we didn't know if he was playing or not. But honestly, Keith, with the minutes we would have to ask, it would be insane to play him
Okay.
tonight. So
Okay. And in regards to Tobias, Matisse, and the other guys with the contact tracing, are you expecting them to be out for the full 7 days?
we don't know. We don't know anything. We have to make that assumption, I guess, Keith. They didn't have. They were, I think, at a table. So it wasn't like close contact. So maybe that'll shorten their days. I don't know that. I don't know enough about any of this. Especially today, I want to make the statement that Doc is a nickname because I clearly don't know the medical part of this whole thing.
I understand. I was about to throw you going, come on me for calling you Doc. But the thing is, so like basically, because from understanding, the reason why they missed the game is because those guys had lunch together. Is that what it is? What the contact?
It's our team meal. I think it might have been our team meeting. I don't even think it was lunch. I think it was breakfast. But they were, we do the whole like 3 at a table, 4 at a table with the big tables.
Okay.
But I guess even that's too close. I mean, I don't know. I don't get that whole part.
All right. All right. Thank you, Doc.
We've got three raised hands. We'll take these three guys, starting with Raul Questner.
Hey, Doc, really just two questions. Based on what I've heard from you, did you express to the league that you didn't want to play today, just given the situation you find yourselves in? Did you tell the league that? And then secondly, could you walk us through the – I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I don't think we should, but it's not for me to express that. I just don't think – I do worry about our player health on the floor.
And then secondly, could you walk us through the timeline of events on Thursday night as it relates to Seth, like him being on the court and the testing? And I guess there's confusion from our end, or at least from my end, about how that
it's done the same way every day. You do your your rapid testing that came back negative. And then the big test that really matters is, the nose, the mouth, the other test. And it takes a certain amount of time for those all to come back. And right when we get it is when we react. And literally, I guess, I was obviously out on the floor, but in the middle of the game is when the report came out. And fortunately, we have people stand by to make sure right when that report comes, we react. And so that's the timeline. I think I was told after halftime about it.
All right, final two, Mark Narducci and then Paul Hudrick. Mark, go ahead.
Doc, when you said you were told after halftime, how hard was it to kind of stay focused on the game that you were coaching when you hear this kind of news and there's so much uncertainty?
Well, fortunately, Mark, if you remember that game, it was pretty easy not to have focus. I guess. But on a serious note, it's funny you said that. I was telling Joel and I were laughing about it because he saw me walk out on the floor and then leave. And he was, we were talking about it today. He said, "Why did you leave? Where were you going?" And I, walking out on the floor, I was told that Seth was positive. And because I'm in game mode, I just kept walking. I said, "Okay, that's great. That's great news." And then I walked out and I stood there and it was like a minute and a half, like on the clock. And I said, "Wait a minute." They said positive. And that's when I walked back in to make sure, "Wait a minute, you said positive." And they said, "Yes." And so, yeah, that's when it's that you're worried about him, and everybody else.
Thank you.
Last one, Paul Hudrick, and then guys, so we got Michael Malone at 1:30 coming up in 2 minutes. So go ahead, Paul.
Hey, Doc.
That's Mike, guys. A message from Doc. If he can sit out about 7 or 8 guys, that would be very nice of him.
Hey, Doc. Glad that you're safe and healthy, but just wanted to ask, you've become really good with kind of, it seems like on the surface at least, kind of compartmentalizing stuff happening away from basketball and then being able to still coach and coach guys. But what is how do you kind of do that today mentally, and especially, with the guys that you have?
Well, I can tell you, for me, the first thing you do, you coach them and you think about the big picture, Paul. And for me, some of these guys may help us later, and so they're going to get a lot of time against a very quality opponent. And it will be good for them, the ones who are playing. And so that's the way I have to look at it. Tyrese Maxey is going to get a ton of minutes tonight. And so he's going to see what it's like carrying a team, in the NBA, and what it's like where the defense is now, they're focusing in on you, so there's a lot of that you can learn and teach tonight. So I will definitely be a teacher tonight, more than, thinking about the score.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.